held, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So they're going to be afraid, but they're still going to fight against the Lord. Okay? Why is that? Because the Lord is going to be against them. They're going to know spiritually that they're going to, once they see a big black guy come out of the sky with a, you know what I mean, with power like that, they're going to be scared, man. All right? Esau's going to be scared. The nations are going to be scared. All right? Because they're going to know spiritually it's the end of their world. All right. Okay. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw out of that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest, and they were all mixed together, the great tempest, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. And behold, them and burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. All right, so out of all those people, right, that great multitude without number, right, once Yahushua brings out that blast of fire, there's not going to be anything except for dust and smell of smoke. All right, so that's to show you the power that is coming. Okay, so that's the power we're dealing with. That's the power that's going to take down these different kingdoms, man. We're not taking down these kingdoms by ourselves, man. All right, we can't take down Esau by ourselves physically, man. Okay, Esau has. First of all, what was the Edomites' blessing? What were these people's blessing? Their blessing was the sword. That's what Isaac blessed them with, man. By thy sword shall thy live. That's why these Edomites love guns so much, man. Okay, because they live by the weapon. How did they take this side of the earth? They took it by the sword. All these different lands that they're oppressing it by the sword. Who was the first to have the nuclear weapons? That was Esau. Okay? The Edomites, man. The so-called white man. Okay? They were the first to have the weapons, man. And they were the only ones to use it, by the way. But they're dictating which countries can have these nuclear weapons and which ones can't. But they're the only ones to use nuclear weapons. Right? But that's Esau. But he can do that because he runs the world right now. All right? That's what I'm saying. We can't take this man down on the solo. The Lord is going to take him down. The power that I just read about, that's what's going to take him down. Okay? It's not going to be us, man, physically, by ourselves. The Lord is going to give us the power to do that, man. Okay? The power that I just read about, right? He said that there was a great innumerable multitude, right? Then once he set out that blast of fire, that they were all burned up, man. So that's great power. They don't have a weapon that could do that, man, except for the nuclear missile. Okay? But that was coming from Yahushua. That was coming from an entity, man. All right? That wasn't even coming from a weapon. That was coming from Yahushua himself, man. Okay? Matter of fact, I should read that part again, man. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath. Like you gotta picture this, man. And that was coming out of the chariot, by the way. It wasn't actually out of his mouth. But you gotta picture this, man. Okay? That he sent out of his mouth, out of the chariot, that blast of fire. But when it's describing it, you have to picture it, man. Okay? And out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, man. So you know that was breaking up ground, all right? That caused the earth to shake in that region. It was with violence, man. Okay? Upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. and burned them up, every one, that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived. So that's upon a sudden, man. So that was like this, man. All right? So they started to attack Yahushua. He set out that blast, and like that, they were done. They were through. All right? So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid, man. And that was a fearful sight, man. Okay? Because he burned them up with one shot. Okay? And all those, that innumerable, could have been tens of thousands, could have been hundreds of thousands. Who knows how much that was, man? But we know there's going to be a draft, so it's going to be a lot of people fighting. All right? All right? So in a sudden, they were all burnt up, man. Without a scratch on Yahushua. They were shooting all them bombs, they were shooting the tanks, all that, man. The guns, the fighter jets. No, there's not going to be a scratch on Yahushua.